Hello folks, well we're on another vintage camcorder. I think we're on the Sony DCE-DVD310E. So as ever, the E is for the European PAL model 625 line. So I think the internal batteries are no good on this because I just swapped the batteries, the battery is swapped, and it lost all its settings, and that's frustrating because it's not just time and date, it's what picture quality and all that. Anyway, this is a 1.07 megapixel sensor on this one, so we've gone up, and I think it's 2005 or something like that, so we're a couple of years later than the last one we did a road trip on. We are on our way to Leeds. I have a poorly organ pipe. I went tuning an organ. I had a bit of an accident and dropped my reed knife down an organ pipe. Then it didn't play anymore. So I know it's pushed the component inside called the languid down. And of course you need to poke a rod up the foot to correct that. But I'm not a pipe maker and I'm not going to mess about with it. We will take it to the pipe maker in Leeds. Could of course put it in the post, couldn't I? But I daren't to put an organ pipe in the post. Yes, it can be replaced. Yeah, right, okay. This is an organ that I played on Sunday, and treble C sharp, which was now missing, was very frustrating because it kept coming up into the hymns that I was playing. La 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 la, psst. So there you go. So we'll sort that out. I'm hoping you'll do it kind of while we wait-ish. And that's what they do. They do it like I did a 7-year apprenticeship in church organ building. They do a 7-year apprenticeship in making organ pipes. So they are known as voicers. And I'll probably include a 5-second show of their unit. We won't be taking the camera inside. Also going to meet up with somebody who's doing some mouldings for the early version Amstrad connector, which has been unobtainable for donkey's years. I'll collect some mouldings from him, which he's kindly made for us on his 3D printer. So that's a real plus point of another lead we can offer people who need them. For people who haven't either converted them or ended up with a grommet and 2 wires poking in. There is a third type on one of the fake versions. I don't know whether it's worth having that replicated because it's a fake version in the first place. So we're currently coming up to near Brant Bruton, just outside Lincolnshire, and we'll leave it at that for now. So these aren't just any yellow doors. Mr. Chippie can be driving off. We're now at Booth's Voices at Leeds, and he has just sorted out my poorly organ pipe in 3 minutes flat. He says, my goodness, that must have been a hefty reed knife you dropped down it, or whatever you've done. So there we go. We're on Varley Street in Leeds.
If anybody's wondering, what the goods entrance to the Alcoat Centre, which is a big Marks and Spencer's and a big Asda.
Oh, well, there we go.
This is Stanningly.
Stanningly. Don't they play cricket at Stanningly?
No, that's Headingley.
Oh, well, it's got an S in it.
No, Headingley has no S in it.
Oh. Right, and we're going past Skin Secrets, body contouring.
I don't even sat now on this part because I know exactly.
Oh, right. We're going to go to Mr. Chippie's home to pick up his driving licence, and then we'll be on the way back. So we're currently on Leeds Road, coming down from Idle into Shipley, and for those of you interested in vintage television, the very first colour TV in the UK was 1966, 1967, and it was the Baird 700 if I remember rightly, and this was back in the dual standard days, so your black and white pictures were coming off 405 lines, colour was on UHF, you only had BBC 2 at all, and that was going to be colour. And the Baird factory, which is Radio Rentals, is somewhere here on the right. Or on the left.
No, it's on the left.
On the left.
It's now, it's the packaging place where you had some
speed camera.
Yeah,
boxes
where some boxes made for me. Gramophone records. That's the correct word.
So it's here.
Here we are. So that is the Baird factory. Woo! Yes, they're still doing boxes. There we are. Well, we're looking to pretty nice views. We're still in West Yorkshire. And whereabouts are we? Heading towards Leeds, aren't we?
Yeah, we're heading towards Rodley. This is Rodley roundabout. The valley down there is the Air Valley. So the Air Valley goes in.
As in Airedale.
Towards Leeds. We'll go through Kirkstall.
It's the kind of thing you get at Wallace and Gromit.
Horsfortham that way.
Horsfortham.
This is Rodley. We're going back up to Stanningly.
We did have a bit of CB because we were talking to somebody who's we picked the mouldings up off on the CB, but I'm not going to start recording conversations with people who supply. So there we go. We'll put it back on in a bit. We're on the M1 motorway, just outside of Leeds on the way back down south, and we just saw the Emily Moore television transmitter, which is, there was a time when it was the tallest freestanding concrete thing in, where's it gone?
It's there, but it's right on.
No, is it behind the hill? Now I'm showing everything. Okay, well that was a pointless bit of video.
Come back in the shop.
Yeah. There's a wind generator not doing much. We've just about got that on the video. Through the side window. Or through the massive A-pillar these cars. So we've done our final thing, which was dropping in some a board for a Midland 77805 UK, the non-D version, because matey wants a coil, so he needed a scrap chassis, and we've kind of got a 77104, and I think it's the same coil. So hopefully he's sorted out, because my other feelers in the trade, we weren't getting anywhere on that one. The only scrappers I got were the D version. So that's there. So that was at halfway, just outside, well, between, halfway, isn't it really, between Worksop and Sheffield. So that's where we are, and we're kind of near Eckington. And we are going to go and get a bit of charging at Markham Moor. So probably see you from Markham Moor McDonald's. Every time I switch this camcorder back on, it says Sony disc recommended. I've got a TDK one in it, and I'm absolutely sure that if I go to the Sony shop, they haven't got any. We're passing what used to be Van Dyke's Nurseries, and next to it was a tea room, which is now gone, and then this bit was a hotel, which is now some wedding venue. So I remember coming for my, believe it or not, I think it was my 9th birthday party to Van Dyke's Nurseries, and had tea there with my friends. I've got a little thing which I was bought, a little planter, and it's still stuck outside my house 50 odd years later. So there you go, that's Van Dyke's Nurseries. And where are we near? We're between, on the edge of kind of Worksop and, what's Mr. Chippie saying? Whitwell?
Just crossed the M1, having come from halfway, so...
I don't know, CB's not said much, has it? Well, we've got the same bloke on the CB as we had this morning, with deviation about 30 kilohertz, pretending he's in other countries. Unbelievable. So where are we? Clumber Parkway?
Yeah. About to get on there.
Yes. There we are. There's a sign that says Clumber Park. So we've actually had a bit of CB activity. Might have been better off putting it on scan, but I'd have to put about 5 pairs of glasses on to see which button it was. A pro seed, not just an ordinary seed. Crossing the A1, and we'll be going southbound on that towards Newark. It's been a lovely day. It's currently 16 degrees. Yeah, when we went past Rotherham, it dropped, didn't it?
Got to about 13 degrees.
There you are. So we're just on the outskirts of Newark, and you can see the silos for the sugar factory where they turn sugar beet into sugar. You see those 3 silos there on the right. We're going to pop in for some charge. We're a little bit short. We've got 18 miles to go, and the car's got 14 in the battery, so better put a pound's worth in. Let's put too much in, do I? I've got solar panels, so I don't normally have to pay much for electricity for the car. So CB has been quite quiet. Just Mr. Over Deviation keeps coming in, pretending he's in another country. Right, we're just passing Beckingham in Lincolnshire, because there's also one in Nottinghamshire. Probably said before, we've got their church organ in stock. After the church closed and filled up with pigeons, we bought the organ for restoration. There's a forthcoming attraction. 4 tons of pigeon poo. Is that the car going, Pip, or is it my camera?
Yeah, it's battery same. Well, you've only got 18 miles left, so...
Oh, right, well, that's alright. We need to put a quid in just to get back. So we're going to come up to Brown Bruton. I'll put the camera on. I don't know whether I've shown you before, but there's a windmill. Well, a former windmill. And it's had a kind of top glass conversion. Make a lovely Radio Shack at the top. So we're going to come past that in a moment. Then we'll call it a day. CB's still sat there and not saying anything. No. Leadenham on the right, I can see the hall and the church. Brant Bruton on the left. You can see the spire of the church there. I played the organ there once about 20 years ago. They never invited me back. I'm sure I pressed some of the right notes.
All in there somewhere.
And they have a choir there. I probably caused the choir bother. Here we are, surely.
Yes, just after the junction, I can see the top now.
Oh, yes. So Brant Bruton on the left, Stragglethorpe on the right. We went to, just before my mother passed away, I was asked to play for a wedding blessing. They'd already been married in a hotel. And there's this charming windmill.
Should get a good shot of it, actually.
Goes sideways on, which isn't good for people. Right, back to the final story before we say 10:10. And these people had already been married in a hotel and having this blessing service in the church. So my mother says, can I come along there? Because I really want to go to that church. I said, of course you can. So she sat up with me with the organ and passed me the music and things. Anyway, we started with this wedding blessing, and it obviously all had a bit too much to drink already. And I struck it with the wedding march at the end, and this lady shouts, rock and effing roll. But she said the full word, and my mother didn't know how to put her face, and the figure didn't, and so it was like that. So on that cheery note, we'll say 10-10, catch you on the next video. That's a road trip to kind of Leeds-ish. Got that organ pipe sorted out, plonk that in the organ tomorrow, and nobody will be the wiser. Thanks for watching.